And today's the day. 6 months in a motorhome travelling through Europe. So we went through France, Italy, Slovenia, Croatia, Hungary, Czech Republic, Slovakia, into Poland, through the Baltic states, up through Finland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Germany, back to France. Belgium's in there somewhere. About 17,000 kilometres or 11,000 miles. Today we go from St Malo to Portsmouth.
There's a lovely big deck on this particular ferry, and if you want to, you can be like these brave ones here and put out a deck chair and just simply enjoy the view. I can't talk while I'm out there because it's way too windy. We really like travelling on the ferries. In fact, it's way better than travelling on a plane because you get all this room, you can plug all your devices in. There were lots of people in the queue to get on the ferry, but it's actually not very busy once you're on here. And there's no shortages of restaurants or shops or things to keep you occupied.
Welcome to Portsmouth, the home of the Royal Navy. Also the place where Charles Dickens was born, the engineer Brunel, he was born here. The nautical theme is very, very obvious. Old ships, new ships, lots of pubs and cafes with a nautical theme. And it has a special place in my family. So my father, he spent his misspent youth running around the streets of Portsmouth. We're going to check out some of their haunts soon.
Walkway here around the sort of foreshore at Portsmouth, so we've been following the millennial chain walk, but as it turns out they actually physically had years ago a massive big chain that they used to put across the harbour there to keep the enemy out.
So here it is, 9 Nightingale Road, Southsea, Portsmouth, where my father, his 3 sisters got up to all sorts of mischief.
And if you are into naval history, then this is the place for you. This is heaven for any sort of naval history buffs. This is the historic dockyards. There are 11 attractions here, so museums, ships and things that you can look at. We're only going to go to one, and we have decided to go and see the Victory, Lord Nelson's warship.
And here we have the Royal Navy. Here's the old. And over here we have the new. So this is the second gun deck, low ceilings. We'll find out how many cannons there actually are. So how many cannons altogether on?
There's 104 on board across 4 decks, plus 2 carronades at the other end of the quarter deck.
Okay, and each cannon would have how many people to?
Gun teams were 6 to 10 people, depending on the size of the gun, but they could normally keep going with at least one fewer than that.
So when they were in battle, everybody, the cook, everybody was sort of assigned to a gun?
Not every single person. You did have a lot of powder monkeys, yep. But yes, the cook would have been trained.
So this is Nelson's cot where he slept. It looks strangely like a coffin.
And very small.
Had I been on this ship, I'm sure I would have slept back here with the rank and file.
So Nelson was brought down here, laid against this pillar. His left lung was slowly filling up with blood. 3.5 hours later, he called for Captain Hardy, and remember Captain Hardy was also Nelson's best friend. They'd served together for 5 years. Said to Hardy, not over the side, Hardy, not over the side. It was an admiral's prerogative to be taken back home, dead or alive, and so his family could get the accolade he was due as a naval hero. So Hardy kissed him on both cheeks and his forehead and left. His last words were, drink, drink, fan, fan, rub, rub, because he was thirsty, it was hot, and rubbing his chest eased the pain. So he died. They put him upside down in a barrel of brandy, not rum, tied the barrel to the mast, and the ship brought him back to England.
So Renee, your first warship, what do you think?
It is. So we've just done our tour around Lord Nelson's ship, the Victory. Never been on a warship before, or even an old boat like that. Really, really interesting. It looks fairly big but not huge from the outside, but when you get inside there's about, how many did we go? About 6 or 7 decks. So you go right down to the bottom of the boat, you see where the average crew lived, you see where Nelson's staterooms and things were, you see all the gun decks. Surprisingly interesting.
And did you feel at home with the space on the decks?
Well, yeah, I was actually a little bit disappointed. It's got very low ceilings and I didn't have to duck very often at all. So yeah, I finally realised how short I actually am.